Mystery Date, the thrilling new Milton Bradley game of romance and mystery that's just for you. And you. And you. And you. Mystery Date. Will you be ready for swimming? Or a dance? When you open the door, will your mystery date be a dream? Or a dud?
Oh!
Fun and surprises. That's Mystery Date. So, girls,
open the door for your mystery date.
get Mystery Date.
Very nice.
Now, we have 3 guests waiting in the green room. We're going to have a vote. Right, Matt, this is probably one of the first times this has ever been done on Manchester Public TV.
Ooh.
The first caller we get, we're going to either pick Joel Elber and Peter White, the great hosts of the most popular show
Yes.
in Manchester that's not with Fritz Weatherby.
Right, yes.
Amsterdam. Or we have Richy Girard, who for some reason is being very magnanimous today.
Is he?
Do we have a
Very
caller?
nice. Oh, let's see.
Hey, do I have to give my name?
These callers, I'll tell you
These
what.
callers.
Don't they want to win something? What are they winning? I can't remember.
Okay.
Employees are not eligible, by the
We
way.
have to admit that before Peter White busts his gasket that we had this rig. Can we get Joel with the phone? Let's go. Joel, he's still calling in?
It's still ringing.
It is?
Answer the phone.
Oh, we have another call.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Let's see who they're going to vote for our guy.
Who is this?
Who is it?
Hi, this is the most, as known as Joel Elber.
And I just saw that video of Stinky, and I'm going to vote for Stinky.
Well, Brendan, is Stinky out there? We'll have to have him
I
in.
already know you're on. Look.
No. You guys are by satellite from another location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to call.
I'm somewhere in Siberia, and I just happened to have my laptop on, and I saw the intro, and I saw Stinky,
and I want to vote for Stinky.
We just learned that he's fled the building.
I don't think
Okay. Goodbye.
Well, I guess I guess we'll have to go with our alternative guest.
That was groundbreaking. Yes.
So, welcome to my first show at 1 p.m. Our guests are Peter White and Joel Elber of Amsterdam. Hey, how are you? Am I looking at the camera? No, I'm doing the faux pas, the Chris Herbert, looking at the monitor. It no longer, Brendan, what's the monitor? It no longer says don't look at the monitor. Holy smoke.
That doesn't mean you can't look at the monitor, though.
Well, now, because it's not there to encourage me, I can just stare at the monitor. Hi, how you doing, folks? We have Gonzo here.
Hello. Hello, Ward 13.
Ooh.
Audience.
They're not going to you.
Friend. Hi.
Hi! Hey! Oh!
Who's back there? Kyle Heavey?
Kyle.
Anyway, it's good to be here again. What do
It's good. It's wonderful to be here. It's certainly a thrill.
What do we talk? Oh yeah, you're not.
You're such a lovely audience.
You're in a mood, huh?
Yeah, I am.
All right, this should be a fun one.
I did find the Xanax.
Oh, that's good. You'll be calmed down a little.
I've been having troubles with my back, which goes into my neck and my shoulder. So
yeah,
that's why, as I explained to you the other day, usually when I'm ugly towards you, it's because I'm in pain.
I know.
But I'm ugly towards you all the time because I'm practically in pain all the time.
Because we're best friends, and I know that you know that I'll forgive you, so that like I'm a
I know
crutch.
that you won't punch me.
Well, you know that
you haven't yet.
You know that I'll just chalk it up to you being you, and
you mean being a expletive deleted hole?
Yeah, like the one that's after B.
We don't use that in America
I didn't
for
even
men.
say the letter.
In England, you can use it for men. There's a famous story about Laurence Olivier, the world's greatest actor at the time, and he gave up a lot of money to head the National Theatre in England. And at the time, he started in '64, and they had strict censorship on the stage. And on one play, I think it was Trevor Griffith's The Party.
Yeah, it was that, actually.
Which he played. That was one of Olivier's last roles. We played a communist, a party member. But they were having, you always have trouble with your playwright. And he said to him, don't you understand? This is the first time in the British stage that the C word will be used. And Trevor Griffiths, you can't be serious. And that discombobulated Laurence Olivier. And he said, well, I mean, in front of, on stage, not in back of the curtain.
The C word.
Because the C word's always used.
Like 4th and long in a football game, and it rhymes with that?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what the C word is.
I
But in
know.
England, you can use it for men, and it's a lighter word. It's like the equivalent of the bitch.
So we're talking about the C word today.
Well, what C word did you mean? The one that's like 10 letters long?
Confidence. That's 10 letters.
I'm thinking of one that begins with a C and ends with an R.
No, not a car. But anyway, it was nice sitting in your seat the last couple of weeks.
How was the last show? I didn't see it.
Oh, if you haven't seen last show,
No, I haven't seen the last
then
show.
you're not ready to vote for alderman, because it was basically all about. So we're talking about the alderman race, and Mike Martineau called in, and he went through all the wards, and me and Kyle just, basically looked
Let's
in the
hear
camera.
them.
We looked in the camera, and we told.
Ward 1.
Ward 1, we did
Do you even
Kavanaugh.
Right, Kevin Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, who's
who's also a state senator.
who's dealing with a scandal currently,
What's the scandal?
the secret society scandal thing.
What's secret society?
He got brought into court. Someone tried to get a restraining order because they tried to solve the murder in the North End.
That's
Anyway,
Keith Hirschman,
Oh yeah, him.
which was
So Kavanaugh's could.
and Keith Hirschman was using a code, and I said,
Whoops.
what crazy stuff.
Sorry,
I
Kavanaugh.
said the only word that I've known Keith Hirschman since the 7th grade. The only code word he ever used was a tax cap for revenue cap. I mean, the guy was crazy, and the judge said so too.
So it looks like Kavanaugh's squeaky clean then. But we all agree that every incumbent's gonna win pretty much, but there'll be a couple.
What about Ward 7, Ross Terrio?
That's the one that is gonna be tight. That's let me wait. Heath.
Mary Heath, who is a colossus of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
She's Kathy Sullivan's sister.
But I like Terrio, so I'm gonna vote for him.
In fact, Ross Terrio is going to be. You can't vote for
Well,
him.
as a member of the media, I get to vote for each ward.
Well, you were a repeater.
Well, I
Well,
vote.
we do- what
I
happened
vote
to-
through influence, is what I'm saying.
What happened to the $2 bills?
I
Oh,
went
that
to
Christian screwed up.
I went to Portland, Maine, and spent them at the cabaret.
They are good for a cabaret.
Yeah, they got a good system. You give them $100 bills for change, and they give you $52 bills back. Double the money.
Yeah, it's easier to get them there than at a bank.
But
But,
the big
folks, in the old days, a $2 bill was what you were given for a vote, but that was worth like $40 100 years
Well,
ago.
we decided it would be 20 grand. If an alderman really wants to win, 20 grand will get them in because they can have bribes at the polls.
Well, according to Patrick, I won't say the name, the average vote costs $10,000 for an alderman to be bribed.
No, I would do it for 30. I would change my vote in line for $30.
But you're not running for alderman.
I'm saying as a voter, they could buy my vote.
Your vote's not worth even $2.
It's a vote.
But it's not worth $2.
Why is my vote not equal to anyone else's vote? And regardless,
Because, first of all, you're not in their ward.
the main message.
Oh, you're in Ward 1.
Ward 1.
And Kevin Kavanaugh will win
Privilege, baby.
overwhelmingly.
Listen, the
Where
main
does the
message
dollar
was
bills go?
that Dan O'Neill needs to get off his ass and start knocking on doors because he's in
He's not
jeopardy.
going to do that, and you
He's
really
in
can't
jeopardy.
do that at that level.
But he still had 3,000 something votes. He's still right there. He needs to get people to say, all right, I'm not going to vote for this guy. Because right now, 2 Republicans are going to win.
Did I mention that Ross Terra is going to be in the show next week?
No, I didn't.
You didn't mention it.
No,
but
I
did I mention it?
It did not. I did not
He
hear
always,
it.
he always, he never invites me to the pre-show festivities. Actually, you do, but I always get here late.
Well, the post-show activities are good too.
Well, the post-show activities today is Norm Psychic.
Right, but next week it'll probably be at Margarita's. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We're going to end it there. It's
a good way to buy my vote.
Where we're going to be bribed.
Yep, I like that.
Should we invite Mary Heath to the show of next week? Or would that be a breach of trust with Ross?
That would be a breach of trust. you don't want to blindside someone. Come on in, Mary. We got her here right now.
She wouldn't come on anyways. She doesn't like. I don't think she likes to do TV.
Sununu called in, gave us his.
Which Sununu?
The governor.
But who was playing?
The current governor.
Was that?
He just popped
Ryan,
in.
Was that Ryan Gorman?
No. Jon Sununu, the governor.
Jon Sununu was the governor, like when I was at Boston University, and was a much younger man with hair and a strong back.
Right.
I never was good looking, but a strong back can do a lot.
That's not true.
And youth.
You used to be really good looking like a year ago.
I've never been good looking. The most I ever got out of a girlfriend was on the couch at the CLA Forum. She said, "In this light," which was very dark, "you look kind of cute."
I couldn't help noticing your hand. Are you trying to be me? What, do you have paint on your hand?
Oh, I've been painting.
Look at you.
I've been painting a porch.
Look at Gonzo over here.
It's latex.
I love it. It's the new look. Come on in. Paint your hands. Everyone's doing it.
Well, you were.
Yeah, so Ward 1 Kavanaugh didn't do anything wrong, apparently, so he's good. I'm going to vote for him, I think.
Well, why wouldn't you vote for him?
I'm a Democrat, so I'm going to go right down the line, except
there is no
for Terrio.
going down the line.
I like Terrio, though.
But you can't vote for Russ Terrio.
But in my head, I know. Except for Goonan, I'm voting for Goonan.
Who are you going to vote for in Ward 8?
I'm going to vote for Mike Martineau's guy.
Sean Sargent.
So, no. Sargent versus... Wait, Shaw?
Well, Ed Sapienza, who 4 years ago said the way to deal with the drug crisis is let them die, the drug addicts die.
See, I didn't know that. But I like the name Sapienza because...
Him and his brother don't like each other. They don't talk to each other.
No, I heard that recently.
He's also a very hard right-winger.
They don't talk.
No.
But the guy who just won the special election basically got in on his name.
No, well, Ed's been around for a long time. He was Joe Lavasser's co-host, which, of all the things, I'm driving in and I see Joe Lavasser and Will Infantine have a sign. These guys had a falling out in 2013, and I was in Joe Lavasser's law office, his old law office, and he gave me this story about Will Infantine, where he told me that he was the best man at somebody's wedding, and before the wedding, he slept with the guy's wife. This is Joe Lavasser. He's saying this story, and he told every alderman it. And so when Will Infantine went back in the show, I sent Will Infantine a letter saying, "You trust this guy because he stabbed me in the back. He revealed information." That he always comes, I'm your lawyer. I'm your lawyer without portfolio. Then I told him something, and he revealed what I told him to another party. He's the most unethical human being I've ever seen. But
Joe slept with my wife too.
Here he is, character assassinating this guy. And I talked to Will Infantine later, and he said that wasn't the whole story or the true story. Yeah, so maybe that's why he's not so pissed.
She kissed him first.
But here's a guy, Lavasser, saying the most horrible stuff. And, I had the source of Lavasser, and then I had other sources, because Lavasser was telling all the aldermen about it. So I have, multiple sources for this story. I should have contacted Will, and I apologize that I didn't. But he goes onto the show with this human piece of feces, in my opinion. This person, in my opinion, I'm not a psychologist, is mentally ill, must have a narcissistic complex, and I'm sure he has. He's, I have to forgive him in a way like I don't forgive Richy Girard, because I think Joe's got PTSD from having a very hard childhood. And if you don't really work on it, I've worked on it. I'm still in expletive deleted hole.
Don't we all have narcissistic?
But for Will Infantine,
qualities,
just goes on the show with him, this backstabbing person you can't trust.
Ratings, baby.
Yeah, just so he can have a political career. It's egregious because he's an intelligent individual. I enjoyed talking to him, but maybe because the story was Joe had taken a story and put a spin on it.
I'm sure Will's really excited.
But maybe that's why Will isn't as pissed as he would be if he told the complete, real story.
That's so cliche to sleep with the bride the night before. He's like...
Maybe they kissed or something. I never asked him what really happened.
Heavy petting.
But, you get drunk.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I've never done it.
A lot of stress.
I mean, sleeping with Joe Kelly Lavasser the night before my wedding, I would probably have to do that.
You slept with Joe Kelly Lavasser the night before your wedding?
If
you were bi-curious?
If
or?
the opportunity arose, yeah. But
arose. Who would have rode topside?
Huh. I don't know.
I think it would be you that
I think it would just organically happen.
I think the dynamic would be you would be on the bottom face down and he'd be ramming the fear of God into you.
I don't.
Just like he does to everybody else.
Look, that's the fantasy anyway.
Snum.
That's the fantasy. I am a Lavasser lover.
Keep the when I'm making these gestures, keep the
keep in
camera
mind,
off of
this
me.
This is why there's an asterisk next to War 13 when you list the
why they don't have the rerun.
The immediate rerun. We still got 3 o'clock though.
Okay.
But maybe you can get people to not vote for Joe Kelly Lavasser, and then O'Neill can get in that spot. But
the thing is,
Christiani's right there too. So it's like this is one of the best alderman at large races ever in my life that I've seen in Manchester.
What's the first real one?
It's cool. It's awesome.
It's the first one that has a change since 2011 when Lavasser beat Mike Lopez.
Even the people who fell off 5th and 6th are legit names in the.
No, they're not.
Well, Morrow was an alderman.
Who?
Wasn't Morrow, Elizabeth Morrow, in there?
Oh, Jesus.
Was she not an alderman?
Yeah, she was an alderman, but
so that's a legit.
In my
name.
opinion, I can't remember the German word, but it translates as she-devil.
Yeah, something like
Teufel. Yeah, she-devil. And she's a Joe Lavasser, and Tammy Simmons.
The Lavasser lovers. No else is a Lavasser lover.
Well, Ed Sapienza would do anything Joe said. His heroes are Lavasser and Stinky Girard, which is as bad as you can get.
He's
it's like having Hitler and Mussolini, Hitler and Stalin as
Girard is a hero.
Although Ed Sapienza, I like him. He's a nice guy.
It sounds like it. Sounds like you love him.
But he shouldn't be on the board of aldermen. Sean Sargent's young, and I gave him a lot of crap. But then we had a long talk, and I think he'd do well.
There's the message. A lot of people don't know this, but if you just sit down, like I didn't know Terrio for a whole in a while, but off camera we had a good talk, and like I like the guy. I might not agree with his stance on, safe station and all that. However, I like the way he handles himself, and I like the way he looks you in the eye and he talks to you.
Oh, I like Ross, but
a lot of people don't get that benefit of the doubt until they people are always like, "How do you deal with Hopwood?" I'm like,
why don't you tell them to talk to me, and I'll tell them to go.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling them. Talk to them. Talk to people. Don't form an opinion on me unless you talk to me.
Is this Christian, your grandson, that's still bitching about me?
Christian Lacoste? Yeah. Is he still relevant?
Not that I know of. I think he got retired.
I think his best career move was moving in with Matt Connerton, I would say.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Clearly.
Yeah.
No, he's a good kid. He's trying to make his way. Hey, I always say this. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your radio family.
On that note of wisdom. But I'll just say, the way it looks now, and I've been talking to a lot of people, it'd be Dan Goonan and Lavasser.
Yep.
I think Lavasser has a lock. The Democrats, I don't think they're once again, they're not going to do a damn thing.
Well, Gooden's a crossover act. He's got Republican, but he cares about people.
It's his first time.
It's a great idea.
We have no idea whether all the firemen will vote for him because Danny O'Neill has protected the firemen. He is the man for the unions. He's the unions guy on the board. And they know him, and they trust him. But
you can't always trust the primary, too, either.
He got hurt by those charges that Lavasser brought up. In my opinion, it was Lavasser that found these things, the so-called scandal of Danny O'Neill, and had Elizabeth Morrow as his attack dog, which she didn't do a very good job, but that might hurt him. I don't know. He shouldn't have come in as low as he did.
A golden
And he almost
doodle.
lost the last time.
Why does he get away with anything he does, though, huh?
This will be the first time. A lot of things are saying that Levasseur and Dan Goonan, who's a registered Republican, which I think that's very foolish. He should have become a registered Democrat because the Republicans really aren't going to vote for him. And will the union guys in the fire department and everything vote for him? He's already taken a strong. I'm for
thinking,
the
yeah.
tax cap.
I
and
think
all
the
that.
best move he made, and I don't know if it was calculated or not, was showing up at that alderman meeting as the chief, standing up to everyone, and then after all that, going and saying, "I'm going to run for alderman at large." You know, I think that showing he made at the meeting was huge for his
But that's for
voting.
that's
vote
the
getting.
insiders. The other thing is he has a name. He's well known. The thing is it's his first-time candidate. The late Bill Cashin, who set the record, 16 straight elections, 16 straight wins, got that big portrait in the chamber, said, "You don't know how a voter votes until the votes are counted." And that could be true. But
Is the primary any accurate indication of how the
it
general
gives you
will
an
go?
indication, but sometimes people can come in first in a primary, like on school board at large, and then not get through in the final.
Really?
And things
That
like
wont
that have
happen here,
happened.
though.
We're talking
O'Connell
about first.
crushed it.
We're talking about first, timers. So, and Triciani's a first timer, but she's got a big family.
Can't believe
who's
how
got
many votes she
uncles
got.
and
Yeah.
and so that are high school
Manchester
coaches.
name.
And
Manchester name.
it's like Bill Berry. Everybody knows who Bill is.
Yeah.
And he's been involved with sports. Ted Gatzis used to be a coach. Frank Ginter coached too.
I mean,
it's a way to be known.
John Triciani alone is probably getting her half of her votes.
Right. The problem that she has
Who's a solid guy. I love that guy, too.
is that you got Levasseur, who's will probably get 9,000 votes because there's not going to be anybody opening up on him. He's got every Republican vote, a lot of the independents. So few people vote, but so who's going to be the second one? The second person, and Danny O'Neill and June Triciani. If Democrats vote for both of them, neither one gets in.
Oh, so you're saying one of them has to take
One
a
of them
step back
if,
and
if
endorse
they,
the
they
other?
want. No, that's not going to happen.
Why not?
And the Democratic Party will never take that, and it's telling people, you vote for both.
So what's the way O'Neill wins? Scandal?
O'Neill can only win it if because everybody's so used to voting for him that it happens. Triciani only wins if she starts getting both. Democrats decide, well, she's the most likely. We'll have one rather
so
than
I'm not
both.
going to vote for O'Neill. I'm going to vote for this new
Right,
one.
maybe it's time for Danny to retire.
Well,
I'm not saying whether that's good or not.
I would love Dan O'Neill to win. I know Kelly's going to win, unfortunately.
Then you would have to vote
I
a
would like it
bullet
to
for him.
stay the same. I'm going to vote for O'Neill and Goonan, though.
But see, then you
but
split.
so I'm
then you
screwing it
split.
up. You're right. My vote doesn't matter. You're right.
Bullet.
At that point.
It's like
That's a good point.
Finally, Mike Lopez came to the conclusion after all these years of elections. He was a alderman at large, and I guess he supported it at the. He was one of the commissioners of the charter. He says it really doesn't work for various reasons. There should be more, and they should just have like North End, South End, Center City, West Side. You have 4 aldermen at large, but in districts, because that would allow people like somebody like June, who's doing a great job, and she's working her buns off, and she's very independent too. Everybody's impressed by her, and that's the threat to Danny going on. But somebody like that, it'd be more likely to win in a district because they don't need the great money that it takes.
So
to
I'll give
over the
O'Neill
city.
both my votes then.
Right, and that would probably stop somebody like Joe Levasseur would not have a lock because look where he comes from. He would come from the North End.
So everyone give O'Neill both
and
of your
it could be
votes.
somebody.
That's what we got to do.
Well, if you look at the votes, half of all the people don't even vote. They only vote for one candidate. It's like there'll be 10,000 votes that aren't cast. Lots of people vote bullet.
That is amazing.
Everybody that's going to vote for Joe Levasseur will vote a bullet.
We need hanging chads. That's the only way we're going to win this one.
I'm just saying, everybody that's going to vote for Levasseur is going to vote a bullet. They're not going to vote for Goonan. They're not going to vote for Danny O'Neill. They're not going to vote for June. the
A bullet
thing,
is 1 vote.
1 vote. You leave the second one blank. Now, when you have the Democrat, Goonan would be the favorite, I would think. The only way a Democrat could get through is if people decide, well, we're going to do this. Now, one of the reasons Kathy Staub lost to Richy Girard in the 2015 election is because the other candidate, for some reason I can't, is it Nancy Tessier? They figured Kathy Staub was always a top vote getter. Well, we're going to vote a bullet for Nancy to get her through because Kathy will just get in there. And the first shock of 2015 was to find out that Joyce lost. And then the second one was that Girard beat Staub. And that's where Bill Cashin said, you don't know until the votes are counted. Nobody thought Kathy Staub could ever lose. But they were voting a bullet. She told people, she released people, vote for Kathy, because she figured she had a law. The only way is if there's like people are talking, we're going to vote for June, or we're going to vote for Danny. A lot of the union people might just vote for Danny.
It doesn't help to vote for.
You vote for two.
So Gooden,
if you vote for two, if you vote, this is my opinion, and it shouldn't be this way, but it is.
Makes sense, though.
That if you vote for Danny, who I voted all the time, you vote for June, who I really like, and I vote for this time, it's likely that neither one of them is going to get on. Or maybe Danny will get on.
And Gooden gets that crossover Democrat vote. So
everybody.
So
like
you
Danny.
vote for O'Neill, and then
Gooden.
the other people will be like the second vote. I just said it myself.
You would vote for Danny and Gooden.
Yeah, and that does nothing. That's
I know a lot of people that voted for
That
Gooden
hurt.
and Triciani. On the thing was, well, I like Danny, but he's been there too long.
If I had to see someone go in there, I think I would like to see Gooden go in there just to shake it up a little bit.
He would break Joe Lavaz's
Wouldn't it be
balls.
cool? Wouldn't it be cool though?
Yeah, he would.
I mean, the guy's a tough guy. You know, he climbs ladders and saves kittens.
I like him a lot.
I made the joke with Kyle, but this might be true. When he went to register, he kicked the door in with an axe and had 6 firefighters behind him. Like the guy, when he signed up, everyone's like, "Did you know like Goonan's running for Alderman at Large?" Like that was the big story on the Inklink. Like that was it. Like
a lot of insiders think he'll beat Lavasser and is the #1 vote getter.
That'd be amazing. I don't think that's possible.
That's the thing. But the thing is, he's never been in an election before. Where you saw Danny used to always get the starting like when I started following 2013, 2011. He was always the top vote getter, and Joe would be like 1,000 votes less. Then it was 500. Then they were like equal, and then Joe started surpassing him.
We need Joe to get another parking ticket.
Need Joe to friggin' be disbarred and run out of town on a rail. But I didn't say that.
No.
That's the fate for Stinky
Who's going to be the bottom?
Speaking of bottoms,
Will.
Speaking of bottoms, we're going to go into the mayor's race.
Okay.
As we see, we have the. Do we have the meme that we can just flash up on the screen too, Brendan?
Which one?
It would be the Girard on Sullivan meme.
I think it's up. No, the Yoda one was up.
Oh, let's see that. But see, I can't see. Can you put it not in back of me, but on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll keep that. Victoria Sullivan, I should have
someone-
done this better, is someone who has no functional understanding of city government. And that's her, Queen Victoria. Because you know what? Queen Victoria's #3 supporter is Carla Garricky. And we have that, don't we? It's called Vote Recount.
That's Kelsey Kramer's ex-wife.
Now this is,
from Desperate Housewives.
Oh, see, I keep that. You know what? Well, it's not your fault.
Well,
I
Yoda's
actually.
Oh, that her?
Let's not get into that.
She's Icky. I don't think she's Icky. I think she's just Vicky.
Well, see, it said Icky Vicky, and that's Vicky. I just took the story. There's Richy Girard over there, and the woman on the left, that's Carla Garricky. Carla Garricky was born in South Africa. She won a lottery to come to the United States, became a naturalized citizen, and she wants the United States, the New Hampshire, to become an independent country from the United States. Yeah. You know, I'm a veteran. Where's my veteran's hat? Yeah, really logical, right? You know, people say thank you for your service and all that.
John, thank you.
Well, thank you
for that service.
I did it for you.
Thank you for the service.
All the cute girls out there.
Thank you for the servicing.
Thank me when I'm going through an old fart going through the checkout line with my EBT card, which is still embarrassing.
You serviced me well. Appreciate it.
I thought that was Joe Lavasser. But Carla Garricky was there at the vote recount. Tammy Simmons was number 1 aide to Victoria Sullivan. There's Carla Garricky, who'd been arrested one time for being at a police stop of somebody who was an armed person. The police stopped her. She's in another car. She starts videotaping. One of those Free State Project, what I could call provocations, in my opinion. She was once the head of the Free State Project.
The people that go around and go to traffic stops and they
she was
tell
with
the drivers their rights.
No, she was with the person. This was a guy that was, a traffic stop, and he's armed.
Yeah.
And which is a serious situation.
Yeah.
But
Get
here
out of the
you
way.
have.
Just get out of the way. Let the cops do their thing. Jesus.
The thing is somebody told me, a Rich Girard supporter there, because Rich, he gained a few votes, but it was essentially the same, because so did both Joyce and Victoria Sullivan. He said it represents the Free State Project taking over the Manchester Republican Party.
Well, I think the way the mayor's race is going is going to be similar to last year. I think.
What's that? That's not the question. We're talking about the Free State Project.
I thought we were talking about mayor.
Yeah, but Victoria Sullivan.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Tammy Simmons is you have to call her officially a friend of the Free State Project, because she threatened to sue people when we called her a Free Stater. This was at the beginning of the decade. They are what I would call anarcho-libertarians. They are libertarians, extreme libertarians. Their idea is to come here. They were the first colony in Keene. What was financed by the Koch brothers, the right-wing Koch brothers. And their idea is this is an easy place to come and get elected to a state legislature, which it is. And to take over the state, and eventually, I don't think all of them will secede from the United States. I mean, it's a radical agenda. But what they do is when they instead of being with the Libertarian Party, which is here in New Hampshire, they register as Republicans because that's a more viable party. Now, if they live in a House district that is more majority Democrats, they'll say they're a Democrat and run for that, which they can do.
You think the Koch brothers are back in Victoria Sullivan?
No, but she has some right-wing connections.
That's big money right there.
The point is Victoria Sullivan, as Rich Girard says, as we have here on the meme back here. Let's get the old two-shot so we can have the middle screen. Says, Victoria Sullivan is someone who has no functional understanding of city government. You can look around here. It's right there.
I can look wherever I want.
Of course, then we have the screaming meme. This is the screaming woman meme. I had to cut the cat out. I have another one that has. Well, we won't get into that.
This is from the Real Housewives.
And this is Victoria Sullivan. You have no concept of boundaries. You were disloyal to Mayor Wazorek. You were disloyal to your wife and family.
Mm-hmm.
But Victoria Sullivan is someone who has no functional understanding of city government, and he has pounded that. In the last few weeks.
Do you agree?
She does. She has no functional understanding. She has no experience.
What do you think?
So who is going to influence her? Who's going to be the person that gives her ideas? Rich says she has no ideas. Do you think it would be her Free State Project allies who are so close to her that they were there handling her affairs at the recount? Do you think it'd be them that would be influencing her? Because one of the things Sullivan came out for, I was told this by an excellent source, I haven't seen it in writing, is that she supports the Free State Project idea that police scanners should not be encrypted. So every citizen should be able to hear a police call. So if somebody's running amok in their neighborhood, well, they should know about it. And if you followed, like I've had over the last 10 years, the Free Staters and people like Tammy Simmons, I don't know about Phil Griazzo as much. friend of the Free Stater of Tammy Simmons. Their idea, they're for cutting taxes, cutting back on law enforcement and public safety, because that should be, volunteerism.
That sounds
They only
stupid.
believe in the night watchman, the guy that goes and checks the locks. Because why do you need police? Why do you have to pay that? We're armed citizens. We now have right to stand your ground. We should be able to hear what's going on, strap a pistol on, or take an AK-47 and go and confront these people and kill them.
That's a
It's called
stretch.
vigilanteism.
I get that.
No, it
but
isn't
it's
a
a stretch to say that that's her agenda, though.
I'm talking about the people that are around her. I'm not saying she is. But this is a
You're
woman,
implying
Victoria
she's-
Sullivan, during the BLM march, posed with people that were like oath keepers or whatever, big fat armed white guys who actually told the union leader that they would use violence if they had to.
I saw them out there. They are crazy.
And she had...
They're crazy.
And so when she has her picture taken with them, people that are saying they'll shoot the BLM people if they should do anything. And you're saying that's not her agenda? Well, she's always...
I said it's a stretch
she's
to assume
always
it.
Well, it's an opinion.
All right, okay.
And of course, it is a stretch.
Yep.
But she has no ideas of her own, according to Richy Girard. Richy Girard knows more about me than municipal government. He was in the belly of the beast for a long time. He's a very intelligent person.
So you do have a former relationship with Richy Girard. You know
No,
him.
I have no personal one.
But you have sat down and had
I've never
a conversation
sat down
with him?
No, I followed him a lot, and he knows what he's talking about. He just has his, character flaws, and that he's a male bitch. That's what we call it. It's Bitchy Richy and Icky Vicky. He is. He's a male bitch and a sore loser too.
That's true. He's not helping anything by making those comments for sure.
Oh, he's made. I had to stop taking his comments. His last show was a Lulu, but
yeah, he's not helping her cause
So-
by making that comment for sure.
here's Joyce Craig. If it wasn't for Joyce Craig in 2015, the long Craig budget, there would have been 40 less policemen. And what do you think? At the time when Ted Gatzis would not fund the police force adequately, and Mara was constantly asking him for help, for more officers, and that's when the drug trade really sunk down its roots here in Manchester. And it was Mara, and then later a Chief Willard that really went after dope, particularly Chief Willard.
I tell you what, like Craig.
Without Joyce Craig, the crime here would be much worse.
People, if for some odd reason she doesn't win, people will take her for granted.
Never
People will say, "What did we do?" Because it's hard when you're winning. No one's ever calling customer service to say, "Hey, good job." They're always nitpicking. And
That's what happened to Bob Baines.
she's doing great, and she's also presidential, if you will, mayoral, if you will. There's something to be said about that.
Economic boom.
Because
without
if the
her.
mayor's wearing sweatpants, everyone's gonna start wearing sweatpants, and it's like,
Well, she's got class, and she ran in the bus marathon again. You know
Oh,
the
cool.
discipline for that? She's an incredibly
Well, that is-
intelligent person.
that's nothing to do with it. But
Well, no, it does. It shows her character. That's a disciplined woman. I used to have to run 2 miles
her ability to not take
day
the
'cause
bait.
my fat.
That little reading we did, it just goes to show a futuristic mayor. If she's mayor, she's gonna take the bait. She's gonna go on Facebook and comment back
Oh,
and
yeah,
forth.
you mean Victoria- yeah, Victoria
Mayor
Sullivan.
Craig would never do that because she sees how that can look and how the.
Well, she has class. Victoria Sullivan got. She didn't. This was from. You have no concept of boundaries. You were disloyal to Mayor Resort. You were disloyal to your wife and family.
It's
She
Facebook.
went on Facebook
Yeah.
and started attacking Richy Girard. It was unbelievable. But she wasn't just doing that to her. She was doing it to everybody, like my friend Rosanna. And it just goes and yeah. I mean, you just don't do that. Victoria Sullivan, I found to be a nice person, and.
I'm sure
But she's not. He's right. She's
sure she
someone who has
hates
no
you.
functional city government. She would be prone to these right-wing nuts influencing her.
Well,
I mean, if you were serious about winning, you'd go to Richy Girard and says, "Rich, let's have a good contest.
Yeah, and winner takes it.
If I win, why don't you be my chief of staff?
Yeah.
Because no matter what you said, and I know he caused a lot of trouble as chief of staff because he was a hands-on guy. I've heard it.
Yeah, he was.
Cashin told me the stories.
A lot of hands-on activity.
But Ray Wazorek was a nice guy, well-liked. Rich Rich was like the executive mayor in a way.
And a lot of people that knock him for his indiscretions. Let me ask you, America, how many girls are throwing themselves at you?
Yes, but there's more indiscretion.
Chris Rock said it. A man is as loyal as his options.
Well, Little Mel was quite a character. We could do a whole show on this. I've showed you the stuff on here about the letter to the union leader about another one of his indiscretions.
Yeah, don't squeeze the lemon too tightly.
Well, we don't have to now. He's not going to.
You
He has no
might hurt your
chance of
eye.
being mayor.
You might hurt your eye
I
with
published
lime
it.
juice.
I published it in 2014, and he never did a thing. It's nobody. Folks, incredibly. Let's go for a 2-shot. I don't like looking at myself.
Yeah, no one wants to look at you.
Yeah, according to the woman I still love, he's much better looking than I am.
Oh yeah.
Such a guy. But
she's hot too.
You almost got me F-bombing.
No, you didn't bomb any of us.
I almost did. Okay, Richy Girard was on a show last week, and boy, was it a talk about male bitchery.
What, did he have his own show or something?
Really lived up to Bitchy Richy.
Does he have his own show? Here? Is it on
He's
this?
had his own show for years.
Is it on this
jerk.
station though? I don't know. I only watch Wednesdays.
Yes, he has his own show. It's
I
called
tune-
Girard at
I
Large.
tune into Will and Joe, that's for sure. Who'd miss that?
I can't watch it. I don't want to watch that preening actor. Well, this is what Richy Girard told his audience.
Preening actor. I like
A number of things have happened since the primary. I'm not going to use my Richy Girard voice.
Oh, come on.
And he's going to share them. Well, we can do it off. We can do our own thing. We can do it. He said that he was subjected to political threats and political bribes.
threats?
And he was going. You can go on GirardAtLarge.com, and you can go on his Facebook page, and you can actually watch. It's like the last 18 minutes of the show, and it's extraordinary. He talks about the continued lies and the misrepresentations about himself by the Victoria Sullivan campaign. He's just got to let the sun shine in.
Sore loser.
And after the election, we'll do a show, and we'll let the sun shine in on everything, after the election.
He sounds like a sore sport for sure.
Oh, he is. He's a spoiled sport. Then he had a thing. Al Baldessaro called him and said, Rich, what are you doing? Be a team player. And he's saying, oh, this is like a threat. But it's not. And Girard, I kind of realized it wasn't much of a threat. But he did say that he was beginning calls and pressures. Somebody was putting someone that he was threatened with his future, if he had any future in Republican politics, they would put somebody up to primary if I do decide to run for mayor or something else.
Yeah, they should pressure him
And,
to do that if they want to win.
Somebody called him up and said, what is it going to do to take you to support Victoria? What do you want? A job? And Girard says he already has a day job. Well, he sells insurance, and he also works the sunshine shift.
Gotten a lot of jobs in his life.
Oh, yeah, the UPS, he packs the trucks.
Yeah.
It must be terrible to be a member of the Teamsters Union, and then you're running for mayor, and they endorse Joyce Craig,
Well,
But he was never a pro-union guy.
Have you come out and endorsed anyone yet?
Joyce Craig.
Boom. There it is. There it is.
So he said, I have a day job. Then he started bitching that he tried to hire someone to do field work in his campaign, which he described as managing the campaign. And he had someone in mind, but the kid turned him down due to pressure from the GOP.
I thought his wife was doing all that.
Well, he had to, but he wanted the professional. He raised some money. And he said, they were bringing these threats to my door. Political. The political threats. But he doesn't know what he's going to do in 2 years. Somebody called him about running for the state Senate in Senate District 16, which would be against Kevin Kavanaugh, who wins overwhelmingly, and Stinky's not about to beat him. And he says he has no interest in running for the state Senate. Then he said all of these little games that were being played. This is the kind of stuff that is being played. And then I just got so bored listening to him bitching, I just stopped typing. But he went on to describe, and this is his opinion and charges he made, that Victoria Sullivan has committed some type of campaign fraud by failing to fully list her expenditures. Richy Girard said that she had put out 4 citywide mailers, and none of that, the expense of that, was on either her, which is mandated by law, the 10 days before the primary, release of information, or the 10 days after. And I went on and looked, and indeed, they weren't.
Well, he's trying to hand this to the incumbent then.
But he's mad that
if he gets her on a DQ.
Yeah, he's accused her of campaign fraud. But does he
that'll DQ
file any charges? And then he said that he had talked to our friend Andy Sylvia at Manchester Inklink. He gave him the story, and then they didn't print it. And he called up Andy, and he said, well, Andy said, I'm waiting. Victoria hasn't commented yet. And he says in his show, well, that you put in, she failed to comment. But you see, the Manchester Inklink didn't choose to cover this story. Neither did the union leader. But, of course, they supported Stinky Girard.
I don't think that the Inklink ran the story because they didn't have the quote.
I don't think they ran it. They didn't run it because Stinky Girard is a sore loser, that he is yesterday's news. It's like, it's to use what Nicholas von Hoffman said about, he was a columnist for the Washington Post. In August of 1974, as Nixon was about going down, he said Nixon was like a dead rat stretched out on the floor of the Oval Office, and he's time to be swept out. So Stinky Girard has turned into a dead rat.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a damn about him. He's a loser. He's a poor loser. So they don't want to give him any credence.
Yeah, and they didn't run the story because no one wants to hear the story.
Well, I think they should have run the story myself, but I can understand why they didn't.
But also, they get accused of picking sides a lot, so maybe they didn't want to run a story about how Victoria Sullivan should be DQ'd, and then that would hand it to...
Why doesn't he file charges, and then they can go with that?
Because he got threatened, I guess. I don't know, right?
That's what he said. We can go over it more.
I'm sure not. The word threatened seems drastic, but I'm sure he was told, "Yo, back up, or we're not going to back you anymore."
Oh, yeah, which is politics.
Right. Makes sense.
And he's being a male bitch. He's being bitchy Richy.
He's being a bitch.
He's being a dick.
He's being a dick and a bitch.
I mean, because I said some hard thing. I've said hard things about Victoria Sullivan, but she's still a likable person.
Yeah, she's nice.
It's like a friend of mine who actually
on the eyes
unbelievably supported Stinky Girard and sent him money. Said Girard had called him up, and he tells us, Rich, you're just not likable. He's not.
No, he's
not. He's not a likable person.
Even his service dogs are intimidating.
His service dogs?
Like German Shepherds, to me, are scary dogs.
He has German Shepherds?
I feel like he does. Maybe
not.
I got the Kavanaugh thing wrong.
I like Kevin Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
he's been on my show. We should have him on, but he does not need any help.
No, that's the thing. We can only hurt guys like that.
Stinky Girard would come in like 30% of the vote.
For Girard?
The funny thing is...
for At Large. Isn't he at large already? His TV shows, right? Girard at Large.
It's been on for a long time.
That's his grinder name, too.
Let's not get into that. That's for the Norm show. Now, can we shove the thing gift card? That out. Wow. That's the one.
What's that all
That was my credit card.
Why did you send it to me?
Remember I told you, we do have to edit that out.
That's okay. There's no money on it, guys.
Well, I'm sending him before I took the Xanax. I sent these rambling messages. I don't think I sent you the right one.
Oh, God. You pay that $50, John.
Well,
otherwise I won't have a show every other week.
You can send me the thing and I'll cut it out.
It's already too late.
Okay, here.
His DVR. It's okay. Everyone knows his amount.
Because I lose everything, Brenda.
$13.
Look, I'm holding on to the credit card right now. So you take Xanax, you take a benzo, it gets rid of your memory.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, that's why I didn't want to take anymore.
You shouldn't drink all that whiskey.
No, I do that separately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you shouldn't, though.
Well, I haven't seen my VA blew me off. I haven't seen anybody for 6 months. They don't care if I live or die. So,
No, they don't.
tequila is what I've been drinking.
That is BS.
Now, here is something from a hidden site called Supporters of Victoria Sullivan. It is a hidden Facebook page run by Tammy Simmons, her #1 aide, friend of the Free Staters. And I've had my history with Tammy. You know,
that is
she beat me for
Look at that
state rep.
shadiness.
And this is what they sent out. We need your help. We are offering $10 Chunky's gift cards to anyone able to make 75 plus phone calls via the campaign Sidekick app this afternoon and Monday afternoon to remind voters about the primary this Tuesday. This will take 1 hour of your afternoon and could go a long way of getting Victoria through the primary. If you haven't registered, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
That's
they're
legal, right?
offering, in order to get volunteers, you don't have to offer Joyce Craig's volunteers anything.
No.
Maybe, you know, it's nice they'll have bottles of Coke or something there, maybe some little snacks. But they're offering gift cards. That's not listed on the financial disclosure forms
That
either.
is unscrupulous.
I don't know if it is or not.
Unscrupulous isn't illegal.
Is it unscrupulous or unscrupulous?
Unscrupulous behavior is not
Unscrupulous.
illegal.
That sounds like something you go to a Greek restaurant.
Moral-based, John.
We ought to do a story at Tommy's Greek restaurant. People say the food's
Low
great.
brow, if you will.
I'm going to be F-bombing again. You know who you know how there's, like you told Matt, says you insult me all the time, but there's something like out of the blue will get me really mad.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
That got you mad.
And you it'll be nothing.
Because I looked at you.
It's like nothing. You can call me filthy names and you say, well, you should go suck an egg or something.
Low brow gets you going. That's the thing. That's why
It's
so
triggering.
hard to
You're triggering me.
be John's best friend. It's hard.
I'd like to think of myself as middle brow.
No, I'm saying it's low brow to offer gift cards to make your campaign volunteer calls.
But is it illegal?
It's legal, I assume.
Now, is not listing all your stuff on the financial forms illegal?
It's not coming
This is what
from her,
Stinky Girard is saying, but he's not that we know about it isn't filing anything.
It's coming
and
from
I
that
don't know
Nikki
if it
girl,
is.
whoever that is probably putting the money out.
Listen, we live in a state that has no campaign finance laws. It is all done with letters from
Now,
the Attorney General's office.
Can you go as an outsider, go to the polls with gift cards to Chunkies and offer them for people to vote for who I want them to? Can I do
I thought
that?
we were going to do that with the $2 bills.
But can I do that? Is that legal? If I just say, hey, I don't even know this person, but I think that person's the best person for this job, Jon Hopwood, and if you vote,
you don't put my name in on it.
If you vote for
can put my name on. You can put my face on the $2 bill.
if you vote for this person, I'll give you a gift card. And then you give it to him. You say, you know what? Actually, nothing's binding. Here's a gift card. I hope you vote for that person.
Let's go to the strip
Is that
club and
legal?
get the $2 bills.
Dude, I need to get to the strip club.
Yeah, it's that time of, it's like prostitutes say, if it wasn't for married men with pregnant wives, they'd be bankrupt.
No kidding. I am coming to harvest. I need some. I need that trick they do when you're up at Perv Row, right around on the stage. You
Where's
put
Perv?
the right in
I
that
never
square.
like to go that.
I like it. I like putting the dollar up, and then they
I like
do
to be
the
like in the
hair,
second.
they, like,
I like to be in the
hair.
second row because then there's still some shadow, so you don't have to see.
Let's hear it for Vanessa. Come on up, Vanessa, to the main stage. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. It's 2 for Tuesday, amateur night on Thursday. Don't forget.
Brendan, you're an official of the studio. Could we do a taping at a strip club?
Coming up to the stage, Brandon. Come on up.
No, we don't.
I thought that on Amsterdam they did have a stripper on the show, but of course that was many years ago.
That's all. See, Amsterdam gets a lot of. Did you hear what Amsterdam did? And they did it all.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why we can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, that's why there's signs all over the door.
They used to be on at 11 o'clock.
No fun allowed.
I was only on at 10. And then there was a lot of trouble that would break.
Yeah, the green room was the green room.
Were you ever on Amsterdam?
Yeah, I was Coach Kane.
I don't remember you.
Midas names me that. Coach
Oh,
Kane.
you were in the early days. That
Yeah,
was really
yeah,
well. You were
yeah.
at the other studio.
Like, I was friends with Gorman. I wasn't really friends with Peter yet. And then I was friends with Midas when those three did it. And then when Gorman, whatever reason, left the show.
Went Michigan?
And then they brought in Tibbetts. That's when I started. I got to know Peter.
No, they brought in Joel. Oh,
They brought.
they
Oh,
did.
Joel was always there, right?
No, Joel was when came on when Midas left.
Okay, yeah. So it was
And then,
Joel,
Ryan melted Don. It was the two of them for like several months.
Yeah.
Then they brought in Don Tibbetts.
The height of that show is when Gorman was beefing with Gassis.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
That was great, though. That was a great
I
show.
love the flashbacks there.
That was must-see TV. That was funny. But
when he did the Hitler thing?
they just said all. Just Gorman was, that was when, 05 Gorman was, oh my God. But now he's a shell of himself, unfortunately. I love you, though, Ryan.
Well, we're going to have...
I hope you get better.
We're going to have Ross Terrio on next week.
Yeah. Oh, so can I come, or is
Of course you can come.
what's his name coming again?
Who?
I don't know, the old alderman guy that you bumped me out for.
You mean the only other Hispanic in the entire...
Like, I'm not Hispanic enough for you? Her name's
Well, you're
Gonzalez.
I thought you said you're Polish.
Name's Gonzalez.
Isn't Victoria Sullivan really Polish?
I don't know, but she's cute.
You said she had a great...
I said she's...
superior posterior.
Hey, whatever. Hey. I like
You
it all.
did.
I like women.
Do you think that is the reason of his success in the Republican Party amongst the hairy palm knuckle draggers?
I never met her. I would like to meet her.
She's a nice person. I've invited her on the show.
For drinks?
I would... You're such a pig. Does your wife watch these shows?
No, I worry about that. She has no interest in watching me.
Oh, so when you said...
Although she goes, I might watch you on Norm.
Oh, Hoppy, you never got the show up. My wife wants to watch it. It was you that wanted to watch
I
it.
did. I wanted to watch
You're
it.
narcissist. Narcissist.
Last week
Yeah,
was
that's why
great.
you like
You
Joe
should
Levesque.
watch last week.
That's why you like Joe Levesque. You're both narcissists.
I don't like Joe Levesque. I don't think that you're very nice to him. That's all.
Well, yeah, because he betrayed me, and he's a liar. He lied about me.
Yeah.
And I
lowbrow.
think, in my opinion, I'm not a psychologist, that,
Boy, that
he has
flew by.
mental problems.
Today flew by. Did we accomplish anything?
Yeah, we set ourselves up to Joe Levesque is suing us.
Yeah, we called Girard a bitch.
Girard is a male. I'll say, Rich Girard's a male bitch. Put the camera on me as I sign off. Rich Girard is a male bitch and a slower loser. We'll see you next week with Ross Terrio.
Who's not?
See you then. No.